Hello and welcome back everybody. I hope you guys are doing good. It's been a couple of months since my last video, and today we're just going to go over the entire layout, give an update, and maybe show what changes might come in the future. Alright, so let's go over some basic info if maybe you didn't know before. The layout is 2 feet by 12 feet long, and the layout in total is 45 inches tall. So the layout itself is pretty much just modern BNSF. As you can see, I have a couple of BNSF engines. You might notice there's a little bit of a difference on the left engine. My old GP40-2 has gotten a full overhaul. So I know some of you guys don't like graffiti that much, so then the other side is nice and just simply weathered. As you can see, I got some AC units on top with some PTC arrays on the sides. This is not actually modeled after a real GP40, but I'm just kind of taking inspiration from, I guess, all GP40s in general. So that's kind of the inspiration for that one. So I finally decided that this area right here is going to be a warehouse for boxcars. For some reason, I just couldn't make up my mind. Eventually, I just decided it's probably better to have an industry, especially an industry that faces towards me, so I could actually do switching and it'd be easier to film, and I guess a cool way to take photos of boxcars that I weather in the future. As you can see, I did weather this one a little while back, but I already showed that in the last video. But yeah, the warehouse itself is a Walthers kit. It's a pretty large kit. If you are looking for something that's pretty substantial in size, this kit is perfect. This warehouse is actually pretty old. It was on my old layout, if you can remember that. At a certain point, I decided to try to do the interior of the warehouse, but somewhere along the lines of doing this, I realized that I should probably put my efforts towards the actual layout and stuff that you'll actually see. I did the walls right here, and the corners have like pillars and stuff, and I put up a partition, a wall, and a little bit of flooring that will have to be removed because it bowed. So if that's something you want to see in the future, I will be working on that. But once the layout is more complete, because like I said, nobody really sees it, so there's really not a point to go ham on it. Not yet. The thing is with my layout now is I really just have like a few slivers, like really awkward slivers of scenery left to do. So this is one of them. I think my idea with this one is just turning it into like a whole bunch of maintenance away equipment, just junk, things that pile up in the yards. So in the back here, you can tell that I have not an actual road attached to anything, that's just polystyrene, and I removed that from my last layout. I just like the color. I love the gray. I think the concrete texture kind of came out pretty alright. I'm not really sure, but I think reusing it would be a good idea because then I save some money. So there's a few new things in this area. If you can't tell, I recently picked up a River Point Station. I want to say it's a fire truck. Can you guys see that? I just love River Point Station. I think they have the best quality stuff. They're not in business anymore. Atlas bought them out. We'll see what Atlas does. They have some stuff coming out in October. They're actually coming out with a maintenance of way, I think it's a Ford truck with the high rail equipment. I can't remember, but that's coming out in October. I can't wait. But anyways, that was one of my recent pickups. I've had this guy for a little bit. They're really nice. I got some of these 3D printed jersey barriers, and I actually painted on this concrete stuff. This actually works really well. If you put on a thin layer and you sand it, it does come out looking like real concrete. So another major thing that I've been working on the past couple of months is my Freelance Railroad, which, if you don't know, is Portland Central, or the Portland Central. So I've created a caboose. This is just an old Athearn ready-to-roll caboose that I've painted and decaled with my logo and stuff. Eventually I might buy more details for it, like handrails, but I don't know. Would you guys suggest investing that much more money into an older model, or should you just buy a new model with all the little bells and whistles already attached? I'm not really sure. But that was just kind of a quick project. My main project though is my box cars. So this is my Portland Central box car. I put quite a bit of hours into this, kind of making it look as nice as I could, printing my own decals. It's pretty fun. If you are interested in creating a freelance railroad, someday in the future I will have a video on it, kind of breaking down what is a freelance railroad and what it's all about. So a little bit more information on my freelance railroad is completely inspired by the Great Western Railway here in Colorado, and Portland is pretty much a combination of Fort Collins and Loveland. Pretty simple, but I thought it was kind of cool. So that's kind of how I created the name. I want to give a big shout out to the Arvada Western and the Denver Terminal Railway. They are the only reasons why I've created my own freelance railroad, so thank you to those guys. So if you do follow me on Instagram or on Facebook now, you'll see videos of me adding a lot of details, and that's what I've been doing. So I've added safety bollards, which is just food skewers that are painted yellow. And there was a tree here, if you remember, but I decided to remove it. I feel like it was kind of blocking the view of the yard. And the cones kind of signify that someday something will happen there. So here's a nice little long shot of the layout. You can see the warehouse in the background. One thing I really liked, or one thing I really wanted to make sure I had, was a place to park my maintenance away trucks. So, I mean, this is not really a maintenance away truck, it's more like a fire truck, but this could be classified as a maintenance away truck. I'm really happy with how this area turned out. Usually I'm, at this point in the layout build, I'm changing my mind on things, but because I've taken my time with this layout, I'm a fan of everything. Because usually by this point I'm tearing it down and putting a whole new layout in. If you're curious, the sign on the actual warehouse is a business card from the Warhammer store in Loveland. And I'm not the first person to do that, obviously, and I'm actually pretty sure that they create actual signs, like model kit signs that you can insert business cards. I know a guy on eBay sells them. So I know a lot of people ask me what I use for my asphalt, or how do I get my roads and stuff like that. If you are curious, the product itself is this. Is the Asphalt Terrains asphalt acrylic. It's made by AK, and I will say this stuff is amazing. Look how much it costs though. As you can see, the river is still going strong. I'm still really happy with how it turned out. Even though I did that so long ago, it's still holding up pretty well. The only thing that's really changed around here is I've added more trees. Like I said, more small details, like the tufts. If you had these little tufts. And this side, I think this is the only major spot on the layout that's unfinished. And I'm just going to wait to do that because my cat likes to sleep here. And that's about it. So that's pretty much the layout update. But there is one last thing that I want to show, and that is this. Here is my new project. It's going to be, I guess, a module layout. I don't know if I would consider it a new layout, but you guys know me. At this point, I'm always fiending to start over. So this will actually feed that horrible habit. So this layout is going to be it's just going to be farm. It's going to be all about farming. It really was inspired by this awesome background. This was $11.99 at the Rocky Mountain Train Supply in Arvada, Colorado. So like I said, this layout is going to be, I think, grain operations, maybe fertilizer, something to do with farms. At first it was going to be an engine shop. I don't know, I've recently got into rural or farm stuff. I love tractors, equipment, stuff like that. It's very interesting to me. I weathered this a long time ago, and I tried to strip it. So the other side is bare, almost. It just took way too long to strip on one side, so I decided to call it. And we have this kit, so you try not to break it. This guy right here, I mean, it's just too cool of a kit just to keep in storage. So that's kind of where I'm thinking with this, is just a large grain operation, or like I said, fertilizer, something like that. I'm not really sure yet. So expect some layout build videos, maybe in a different format. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video.